नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So reading from chapter 13, the last verse, 13:35. क्षेत्र क्षेत्र गयोरेवं अंतरं ज्ञान चक्षुषा भूत प्रकृति मोक्षं च ये विदुर्यान्ति ते परम। क्षेत्र of the body, kshetragyayoh or the proprietor of the body, evam thus, antaram the difference, jnana chakshusha by the vision of knowledge, bhuta of the living entity, prakriti from material nature, moksham the liberation, cha also, ye those who, viduhu know, yanti approach, te they, param the supreme. Those who see with eyes of knowledge the difference between the body, the knower of the body, can also understand the process of liberation from bondage in material nature, attain to the supreme goal. The purport of this 13th chapter is that one should know the distinction between the body, the owner of the body, and the super soul. One should recognize the process of liberation as described in verses 8 through 12. Then one can go on to the supreme destination. A faithful person should at first have some good association to hear of God and thus gradually become enlightened. If one accepts a spiritual master, one can learn to distinguish between matter and spirit. That becomes a stepping stone for further spiritual realization. A spiritual master by various instructions teaches his student to get free from the material concept of life. For instance, in Bhagavad Gita we find Krishna instructing Arjuna to free himself from materialistic considerations. One can understand that this body is matter. It can be analyzed with its 24 elements. The body is the gross manifestation, and the subtle manifestation is the mind and psychological effects. The symptoms of life are the interaction of these features. But over and above this, there is the soul and there is also the super soul. The soul and the super soul are two. This material world is working by the conjunction of the soul and 24 material elements. One who can see the constitution of the whole material manifestation as this combination of the soul and material elements can also see the situation of the Supreme Soul becomes eligible for transfer to the spiritual world. These things are meant for contemplation and for realization, and one should have a complete understanding of this chapter with the help of the spiritual master. Those who see with eyes of knowledge the difference between the body and the knower of the body, and can also understand the process of liberation from bondage in material nature, attain to the supreme goal. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshunmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanmitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी। वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुवैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So we are studying from the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is little difficult to understand, little technical. One chapter of Bhagavad Gita, this one very technical, talks about three subject matters actually: kshetra and kshetragya basically, and also knowledge. What is the process of knowledge? Actually, if you see, today is the last verse of this chapter. The first verse, Arjuna, he asked various questions to Krishna. He said, "Oh Krishna, tell me what is Prakriti and what is Purusha, what is Kshetra, what is Kshetragya, and what is Jnana and what is Jnana." So he asked 6 questions. What is Purusha? The enjoyer. What is Prakriti? The enjoyed, the nature. What is Kshetra and what is Kshetragya, and what is knowledge and what is the process of knowledge. What is the object of knowledge and what is the process of knowledge. So Krishna gives answer to various questions. He says, what is Kshetra? This body is Kshetra, right? Idam shariram kaunteya kshetram iti abhidhiyate. So this sharira, this body is Kshetra. Who is Kshetragya? The soul. Actually there are 2 Kshetragya. One is the soul, another is super soul. So in this body there are 2 Kshetragya. What are they? Soul and super soul. And then Purusha. Purusha is again the soul, and Prakriti is this material nature. And Jnana, the process of knowledge, is that 8 to 12 words: amanitvam, adambhitvam, humility, tolerance. All these are the process of knowledge. 13.8 to 12, this famous verse: amanitvam, adambhitvam, ahimsa, shantirarjavam, आचार्योपासनम शौचम स्थैर्यम आत्मविनिग्रह इंद्रियार्थेषु वैराग्यम अनहंकार एव च जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि दुख दोषानुदर्शनम ह्यूमिलिटी प्राइडलेसनेस नॉन वायलेंस टॉलरेंस सिंप्लिसिटी 13.8 to 12 very important verses. This is the process of knowledge. What is knowledge? So Krishna is saying these. How many items are there? 19? I think so. How many? I think 19. Anyway, so these are the, you can see, humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, controlling senses, birth, knowing what is birth, death, old age, disease, even-mindedness among pleasant, unpleasant circumstances, detachment. That is, Krishna is saying knowledge, and everything else is ignorance. That means you can very easily see that whatever is being taught in schools and colleges is completely ignorance. Because who is teaching in school and college how to be humble, how to be tolerant, how to control senses, birth, death, old age, disease? No, it's opposite. That is, science is very powerful, science can solve all problems. You should enjoy the senses as much as possible. So that is what is the training given. But here what Krishna is saying, that knowledge means these qualities: humility, tolerance, sense control, forgiveness, understanding that this world is miserable. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. So of course even people can still, even after so much suffering due to COVID, still people don't realize this world is full of suffering. Still they want to make permanent house there. One very interesting thing, once Vaishnav Maharaj was saying, people say that I have settled myself. I have a nice car, I have a nice bungalow. And how can you settle in prison house? In this world, you cannot settle. Settle ho gaye. How can you settle in prison house? It's foolishness, Sometimes in jail, in prison also they feel very nice. Have a nice room. I'm getting 3 times food to eat. So foolish people. An intelligent man will never think that I've settled down in prison. No. He'll always think, how can I escape from this prison? That is knowledge. But ignorance people are thinking, this prison is so nice. I have a nice room. I'm getting nice food 3 times a day. Exact punctual time, In jail, very punctually everything is there. Right time you will get food to eat. I have not gone to any jail, but I have heard. But this world itself is jail actually. So we are staying in jail. So unfortunately we don't realize. So real knowledge is how to come out of this world, how to become detached from this world, how to cultivate humility, tolerance, pride, lessness, etc. So, and these three actually, so what is there in this world? The Sambandha Gyan means you have to understand 3 things: material nature, soul and super soul. This is the most fundamental knowledge called Sambandha Gyan. So what is this world? This material world has 24 elements. It's called Sankhya philosophy. Kapil Dev also tells in Bhagavatam. So Prabhupada is explaining this world means 24 items. What are the 24 elements? First 5 are earth, water, air, fire and ether. So we should not think, so here fire doesn't mean just this fire which is burning. No. This fire is very deep concept. Fire means anything that carries form. Now Leela Pushpampu is very expert in this. That means these waves, this mobile, how it's working. Waves. These waves is also kind of fire. So Agni, what we are calling this fire, so these electromagnetic waves are also fire because that is carrying the form. Like I am speaking, that form is being recorded in this mobile, being transferred somewhere else. So that means the form is captured through fire, through the waves. These 5 things: earth, water. Earth is something that is carrying smell. Water is something that carries taste. Fire is something that carries form. Water is something that carries taste. And earth is something that carries smell. So these 5 elements are there and the 5 sense objects. What is that? Shabda, sound, rupa, form, touch, taste and sound. What? Sound, form, touch, taste, smell. So these are 5 tanmatras. So 5 elements, 5 tanmatras, 5 gyanendriyas, that is our eyes, ears, nose, skin, tongue and genitals. Sorry, the 5 gyanendriyas: ear, eyes, nose, tongue and skin. 5 gyanendriyas and 5 karmendriyas, that is our hands, legs, mouth, we are speaking, and genitals and rectum for evacuating. So how many elements are there? We counted 5 Panchamahabhutas: earth, water, air, fire, ether. 5 Tanmatras, 5, 5, 10. 5 Gyanendriyas and 5 Karmendriyas. How many we have counted till now? 20. Very simple. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 20. Then Man, Buddhi, Ahankar. 3 more. And then Chitta, false consciousness. 24. Beyond this 24 is the soul and super soul. Beyond this 24 element is soul and super soul. That means in this entire creation only 26 things are there. These 24 elements and soul and super soul. So Sambandha Gyan means understanding this thing. That how soul and super soul is separate from these 24 elements. Understand this point? That is 24 elements which make up everything in this world, but soul is different from it. This body is also made of these 24 elements only. Earth, water, air, fire, ether. These things only the body is made of. The senses, mind, intelligence, false ego. But the soul, although in the body, it's separate from the body. It doesn't get entangled. It's in the body. Because of the soul's presence, the body is functioning, but the soul is not part of the body. Soul is different from the body. This is knowledge. And super soul is also different from the body. So the example is given like a tree is there and there are two birds sitting on the tree. So this body is like a tree and there are two birds. Who are they? Soul and super soul. Soul is busy in eating the fruits. Soul is trying to enjoy in this world, and super soul is simply sitting and watching. Upadrashta anumantacha. He is simply watching and giving permission. Okay, you want to do this? Okay, do this. You want to do this? Okay, do this. But the super soul is waiting when this soul will turn towards me. The super soul is waiting for the day when we will turn towards him. We are bahirmukh, we have turned our face away from him. So Krishna is waiting when we will turn our face towards him. He is always giving us the right guidance from within. And the super soul, so the guru is actually representative of super soul. So he said two kinds of guru, Chaitya Guru and the physical guru. So super soul arranges for us to meet a guru. Like we all in life met some devotees, right? So who arranged that? Super soul. When super soul sees that I have little desire, some little desire to understand God, then super soul arranges for us to meet spiritual master. Otherwise super soul is neutral. But the moment he sees someone is interested to know me, then super soul makes all the arrangements. That how that person can meet devotees, come in devotee association. So that is the important role of super soul. So Srila Prabhupada is explaining this material world is working because of the conjunction of the soul and the 24 elements. There is nothing else in this world. It's 24 material elements, soul and super soul. And one who can understand this actually, he is eligible for liberation. And it's not easy to understand this. Therefore Srila Prabhupada last two lines are very beautifully says, these things are meant for contemplation. You understand contemplation? Vichar karna. You have to think about it, contemplate. And for realization, we have to experience, realize this. And how is this possible? With the help of spiritual master. On our own we can't. Just like, there are, somebody wants to become a doctor. Can he just go to the shop and purchase all the medical books and become a doctor? Can he do that? Or online, take online course and become a doctor? For becoming doctor, he has to physically go to a medical college, get trained under some professor. On his own he cannot do. Similarly, these topics of Bhagavad Gita, just by reading we can't understand. We need the help of a spiritual master. We need the help of a spiritual master. Vishwambar. So, so this is very important to understand. What things you have to understand? Prakriti, material nature, and soul and super soul. And Kshetra, in other words, we can say Kshetra, this body, Kshetragya, two types, soul and super soul. So this is actually knowledge, and one who can understand this, he is eligible for liberation. So first step is to distinguish between matter and spirit. That's the first step in spiritual life. Till the point a person cannot distinguish between matter and spirit, his spiritual life will not begin only. That's the first step, right? We say this is matter and I am living. I have spirit soul inside. So that's the first step. What is the difference between dead matter and living person? So that's the first step. You understand that the presence of soul is there. Like in this chapter also Krishna says, just like sun is present in one place, but the consciousness is spread everywhere. Similarly, the soul is present in one place in the body, but the consciousness is spread everywhere. The soul is never destroyed and the super soul is never destroyed. The body is destroyed. This body will be burnt to ashes or will convert to stool or worms. When you bury the body will become worms. If you burn the body will become ashes. And sometimes animals eat the body, so body will become stool. Who told this? Does anyone remember? In a nice pastime, one great devotee says this body ultimately will become either ashes, stool or worms. Jad Bharat, okay, maybe. Another famous devotee he told this. One nice pastime. Narad Muni, he told to Nalakuvera and Manigriva. When Manigriva and Nalakuvera, they were intoxicated. They were enjoying with naked women in the river Mandakini in Kailash. So that time Narad Muni, he actually gave them curse. Narad Muni gave curse or gave blessing? Narad Muni gave curse or blessing? To whom? Nalakuvera Manigriva. Externally it may seem, he cursed them to become trees. But he cursed them to become trees where? In the courtyard of Nanda. So this you have to really understand, that a sadhu, he can only benefit a person. He cannot do any harm to anyone. A curse of a sadhu is also the greatest blessing. Very important. The curse of a sadhu is also greatest blessing. That may externally look like a curse, but a sadhu, whatever he does is for our benefit. So Narad Muni, externally he cursed them, but he was very merciful to them. They became trees and ultimately they had darshan of Krishna's pastimes. Imagine all the pastimes of Krishna, even demigods, they could not have darshan of Krishna. Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, even they could not have darshan. But these trees in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, they had darshan. I remember His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, whenever he gives lecture, he gives this example. That our tree, Tamal tree is so fortunate. Remember, you must have heard. That Tamal tree is attending every single arti. Like devotees, they may attend Mangala Arti or Darshan Arti, but Tamal tree is attending all the 5 artis every day. And punctual, exact, doesn't become late. Mangala Arti on time, Darshan Arti, Rajbhog Arti, Uttapan Arti, Sandhya Arti, Shayan Arti. Every arti tree is attending on time. Similarly, in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, Nalakuvera, Manigriva, every day they had darshan of Krishna from morning to night. What great fortune. And finally, when Krishna delivered them and they came out and offered very beautiful prayers to Krishna. Oh Krishna, from today onwards, let our words be engaged in describing your glories. Let our hands be used in your service. Let our words be used to glorify you and your devotees. Let our ears be used in hearing your pastimes. So like that they offer very beautiful prayers to Krishna, Manigriva and Nalakuvera. So that means it's only by the mercy of spiritual master one can distinguish between matter and spirit. One can actually understand what is Prakriti, what is soul and what is super soul. Mercy is required. Without that we cannot. On our own strength, we'll get confused. Like Mayavadis, what they think? Soul and super soul are same. Or some people, they think, oh, there is no soul, super soul. Everything is body only. So we'll get confused. Like the scientists sometimes, oh, everything is body only. Body finish, everything finish. That is one class of people. Some people, they think, no, there is soul, but soul and super soul are one. Or there are some Buddhists who say that actually everything is void, shunyavad. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada we say, Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Desha Tarini. So Nirvishesh means this Mayavad. Those who say everything is one. They say soul and super soul are one. That is Nirvisheshvad. Shunyavad. So Srila Prabhupada, he removed this Nirvisheshvad and Shunyavad. And what he established? Bhakti principle, that Jivara Swarup hoy Krishna Nitya Das. This is a Sambandha Gyan. This 13th chapter is talking about Sambandha Gyan. To understanding who am I, who is Krishna, what is his nature, what is my connection with Krishna, what is my connection with nature, what is Krishna's connection with nature, everything is clear in this chapter. And the conclusion is that you must come to understand that I have no connection in this material world, my only connection is with Krishna. That is the beginning of bhakti. To understand that I am Krishna's servant. Ai Nanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitang Mang Vishame Bhavam Budhu Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Sthita Dhuli Shadrisham Vishinte. So unless this feeling come within us, and while chanting we are in this mood, oh Krishna, I am your servant, but unfortunately I have forgotten. Our relationship has now, it has been broken. But I want to re-establish that relation with you. I want to reconnect myself with you. Please accept me as your servant. Please engage me in your service. So without this, actual bhakti doesn't begin. So Sachinand Maharaj says that when we are chanting, unless we chant in this mood, that oh Krishna, please accept me, I am your servant, then that chanting is not complete chanting. It's just mechanical chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Some benefit we may get, but to get complete benefit of chanting, we must come to this mood. That what is the meaning of Mahamantra? Srila Prabhupada says, O Radha, O Krishna, please engage me in your service. This mood, that Krishna, I am your servant. So therefore, chanting Shikshashtakam before chanting is very important. It makes our mood proper for chanting. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim Kavitam va jagadisha kamai Mama janmani janmanishware Bhavatad bhakti rahetu ketve. Once Vrindavan Chandra Prabhu was temple president of Surat, he was telling that one devotee in Surat temple, he was not chanting these words during Shikshashtakam. When this na dhanam na janam shloka was being chanted, he used to keep quiet. So once Puja, why you not chanting? Then what he said? Hey Prabhuji, if I chant this verse and if Krishna will listen to my prayer, then he will not give me any no dhanam, no janam, no sundarim. What will happen to me? So you are chanting this or not? Na dhanam. Huh? Although we may chant from mouth, but internally we are saying, oh no, Krishna, some wealth. No, don't, I want some wealth, I want some followers, I want some. So already externally we may say na dhanam, but internally Krishna something. Some dhanam, some janam, some sundari. Not no. Inside we are thinking like that. So this is an unfortunate condition. Therefore we are not progressing in bhakti very fast. That is true that not everybody can practice pure devotional service. So therefore once Srila Prabhupada also said that many devotees in ISKCON, they will go to heavenly planets. Because if we have desire to enjoy and we are devotees of Krishna, then we are called what? Sakam devotees, like Indra, like the demigods. They are also devotees, but they want to enjoy in this world. They want their position, they want opulence, they want money, they want followers. See, if within ISKCON also you want these things, then Krishna says, okay, be in this material world, I give you some nice post, nice position, you can become a demigod. But then we are missing the chance. This rare chance that we have got, we can go back to Krishna's spiritual abode. This human form of life we have got, even demigods they are praying in 5th canto, that please give us birth in this Bharata Varsha, so that we can practice devotional service. And we are so foolish that we have got birth in Bharata Varsha, we have got devotee association, we have got Srila Prabhupada's mercy, but still if we have the desire to enjoy in this world, then we'll remain in this world. Especially people like me, what to do? Even after hearing, we have this desire to enjoy. But it's very clear, till the time we have desire to enjoy in this world, we cannot get out of this world. That is very clear. So Prabhupada says, even if we have desire to eat one rasgulla, then also we have to win this world. So dangerous. See Bharat Maharaj, such a great person, he renounced everything, but he became attached to a deer, and he became deer next life. So Maya is so strong. So therefore you have to be very, very careful. Therefore this knowledge is very important. Sometimes, we become little, I know everything, why to read Bhagavad Gita, why to read Bhagavatam, I know everything. No. The more we read, the more we hear, this is like operation inside. The more we read, the more we hear, the material desires will come out. So both are required. Chanting also, reading also, hearing also. Many times devotees think, some devotees say, oh no, I just like to hear, or some I just like to read, or I just like to chant. No, all three are required. Just like balanced diet, we say we need carbohydrates, we need protein, we need vitamins. So similarly in bhakti we need all three. Actually we need all five. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, what are the five most important aspects of bhakti? Nam Sankirtan, Bhagavad Shravan, we need Srimad Bhagavatam reading, devotee association of devotees, and Vigraha Seva. We also have to have darshan of the Vigrahas, do service to the Vigraha, and Dhamvas. So anyway we are staying in the Dham, but you have to stay in consciousness also. Sometimes we just stay externally in the Dham, but consciousness is not in the mood of Dham. So if you follow, so Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojan. So first we must understand Sambandha Gyan, then we must do Abhideya, that means we should follow the rules and regulations of Bhakti, and then we'll get Prayojan. What is Prayojan? Krishna Prem. Prayojan means goal. Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojan. Sambandha means understanding relationship between these three things: nature, soul and super soul. And Abhideya means acting on this, practicing bhakti. That is called Abhideya. And Prayojan means once we do sadhana bhakti nicely, from sadhana bhakti will come to bhava bhakti, from bhava bhakti will reach prema bhakti, which is the Prayojan, the ultimate goal. So we should never forget the goal. Just like any businessman, any student, he always has the goal fixed. That I have to study, this exam is coming, I have to study. So we should also have that goal, that my mission of this human life, that before I die, I must also attain Krishna Prem. So with that goal in mind, we should perform bhakti with a lot of enthusiasm. Utsaha, Nishya, Dhairya. Utsaha, Nishya, Dhairya. Tat karma pravartanat, sangatyaga, satoviti, sarvir bhakti, prasiddhiti. These 6 things are favorable. And what 6 things are unfavorable? Atyahara, prayasasya, prajalpa, niyamagraha, jana sangasya, lolyamcha. These 6 things will destroy bhakti. What 6 things? Atiyahar, that means eating more than necessary or keeping more funds than necessary. You try to accumulate, I need more money. Atyahar. Prayas, working very hard to earn money. Prajalpa, very dangerous, always talking here and there nonsense. This happened in politics, this happened in temple, this, always talking, no? Prajalpa, useless talking. And this biggest source of prajalpa is what? This is the biggest obstacle in bhakti, right? Prajalpa. And niyamagraha, not following the rules properly. Jana sangasya, associating with worldly people. And lolyam, having greed. So these things will destroy bhakti. And utsaha, nishya, dhairya, these things are helpful for bhakti. Okay, Hare Krishna. Any questions, any comments?
And this mobile is the just we have to this mobile is the shoe.
Yeah, this mobile is a major issue, yes.
Then why this not has been prevented by this ISKCON?
Yeah, actually, prevented by ISKCON, yes, you are right. In some.
At least it should be prevented to the at least brahmacharya.
Haan, you are very right. Actually, in Pune and some temples, they don't allow brahmacharis to keep smartphone. They allow brahmacharis only the small phone, without WhatsApp. Yes, like this.
Because
Like you are carrying this phone only, no WhatsApp. Hari bol, see? Raj Vidya Prabhu, Hari bol. He's using that small phone. Show once again. See?
I use no mobile.
No mobile, Hari bol. You should get a special award. In today's age, I was discussing one devotee, more difficult than Nirjala fasting is Nir-mobile fasting. If one day one can stay without mobile, that is the greatest fasting. You try one day, you cannot do. 1 hour also very difficult. Where mobile? We feel separation from mobile. One hour also. One day if you try to fast from mobile, that is the greatest, that is even greater fasting than Nirjala. Nir-mobile fasting.
If one accepts the
but
spiritual
issues are actually this mobile is not being provided by ISKCON, even then they are attending for it. They do not asking where they have it has come.
Yeah, somebody give. Okay, see what to do. Actually, you are right. This is one of the biggest cause of fall down of brahmacharis, this smartphone. Yeah, I mean the counselor should be strong. The brahmachari counselor should be strong to implement. Sometimes in key position we may require, somebody doing fundraising service, or somebody is doing some kind of important measures. He may require, but no, everybody doesn't require. Because the danger is more than the positive result. That's the biggest problem.
Here, like Prabhupada, like if one accepts a spiritual master, one can learn to distinguish between matter and spirit, and that becomes a stepping stone for further spiritual realization. A spiritual master, by various instruction, teaches his students to get free from the material concepts of life. So I would request if you would speak on this, if you have time.
Yes. Yeah, so spiritual master teaches us how to get rid of this mental conception of life. That's the duty of spiritual master. Deliver a disciple from clutches of Maya. So that is what Srila Prabhupada did. That is what Krishna is also doing. Arjuna was in the beginning bodily conception of life. Oh, these are my relatives, my grandfather, my brother, how can I kill them? But by the knowledge of Gita, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna removed that illusion. Similarly, in the beginning, we are also having this bodily conception. But spiritual master, by his constant training, he trains us that no, you are not this body, you are not this body. That is a training in Krishna consciousness actually. To train us. But unfortunately, we also have the same bodily conception. We also see he is a white devotee, he is a black devotee, he is rich, he is poor. We also distinguish among devotees. That is still the skin perception. So we have to come out of that. We should come out of bodily designations. Prabhupada many times he said, Kiba Vipra Kiba Nasi Shudra ke Nanoy Jai Krishna Tattvati Say Guru. We distinguish that he is a sannyasi, he is a grihastha, he is born in Brahmana family. There is a new disease in ISKCON. Many devotees they see, he is born in Brahmana family, he is born in Kshatriya family, he is greater. No, that is bodily conception. Once we come to bhakti, we should not distinguish that who is born in Brahmana family, who is born in Shudra family. No. Even Ramananda Rai was born in Shudra family, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the closest associate, was Ramananda Rai. So he is teaching by his example that we should not see bodily conception. Okay?
What is the role of Chaitya Guru?
Chaitya Guru has an important role to play. So both the Gurus, Chaitya Guru and the external Siksha Guru, so both have their role to play. Because Chaitya Guru also inspires from within. But sometimes in the beginning stage, we cannot listen to Chaitya Guru. We listen to our mind only. So we can directly listen to Chaitya Guru only when we are very advanced.
Chaitya Guru and Super Soul are
Same. Super soul we call Chaitya Guru. And we Guru within the heart, Chaitya Guru. Krishna says, na, tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam pyantite. Krishna says, those who serve me, I give them the intelligence from within. That is Chaitya Guru.
So Shiva Prabhupada said that most of my disciples will go to the heavenly planets. At the same time, there is this verse in Bhagavad Gita that Shuchinam Shivatam Dehe Yogadhrashta Vijayate. Born into family of righteous brahmanas. So definitely such a birth is very.
So first they go to heavenly planets, then from there when they come back to this world, then they are given birth in some rich family or highly educated family like that.
But then we also heard that by that time Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement will be over.
So that is why we should not take chance. That is why we should be serious. We should not think, "Theek hai, I'll get more chance. What is the hurry?" But so that is why we should become very serious. That who knows, once we miss this chance, again when we take birth, this ISKCON movement will be there or not. Or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission will be there or not, we don't know. So now we have come in touch with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu movement. So now we should make our life successful. Okay?
Just one thing to add with it is we have heard that golden age will be for 10,000 years. But if Lord Chaitanya is the Kali Yuga avatar, then it should be his predominance should reign for the whole period of 4,32,000 years.
Yeah, that's a good question. But that is why actually Kali, this special 10,000 years, that is where Mahaprabhu's movement will go on. There's a special concession in this Kali Yuga. Yes, entire Kali Yuga, still the process of Sankirtan will be there, but after 10,000 years the condition will become very, very degraded. So hardly there will be any devotees. So at least for 10,000 years there will be some devotees in this world. Easier to practice bhakti. After that it will become almost impossible. Still some possibility may be there, maybe 1 or 2% may still practice, but it will become very, very difficult. The world will become so bad it will be almost impossible to perform bhakti. Okay, thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.